Welcome to another video on my Raspberry Pi 3 with a PiXtend, a PLC that is compatible with the Raspberry Pi 3B, and it should be placed right here with connector cable, and of course once these chipsets here are being filled, and they are right here. Last time I finally managed to put this jumper on and to put the voltage regulator with cooling body soldered right here. Oops, let me show right here. I have to check on some soldering points, cut some wires, and that should be all there has to do, although at feeling some points still not everything is as good soldered, so I need to check on that. After doing so, I will place all chips, including the very important PiXtend controller. Next, put all the spacers on the board, and then see how things will work out. Because last time I also found that the Codesys program doesn't really cooperate with Linux via Wine, and Wine is not a fluid but a Windows emulator. So I will try to do it with the Python PiXtend library. Anyway, first thing to do is of course this, then boot the Raspberry Pi and see how that ends up. So let's proceed. So that part is done now. Here you see nothing different. On this side, however, you do see a very big difference. All wires have been cut. Took a very big effort, including checking for unsoldered connections, and there were a few. And if I look now, I even think I missed two right here. Let me quickly check. No, I didn't miss those, although it could be. I have to recheck. But anyway, after rechecking those connections, it is time to put these chips on the board, put the spacers on, and mount it. Now another thing is that I mentioned 4 empty connect here, and they even have traces here, but on the map it's not there. So I have my doubts. On one hand, why is it not here? And why is it here? There are other holes that are not on the map, but that will have its reasons. Anyway, Time to check those two connections and then put everything on it. And with quite a bit of effort, I have managed to put all integrated circuits on the board. And in the correct direction, because integrated circuits have a direction. Indents give always the direction. Indent is 1. So as long as you put them in, then it goes right. And then it also shows that a preferred construction sequence may help, because some of them, this one and this one, gave quite a bit of struggle. Anyway, indeed I had to solder some more points. So now it's time to put the spacers in. Spacers. Here, here, here and here. And they correspond with these. And that will be in the other direction. So how will I power up? How will I connect to the network? Not sure yet. We'll see. So spacers and connection. And before I go on, I had to overcome another thing. On this list with parts, it's written, for example, Max 232 74HC157 MCP 4812 and MCP 2515. All nice, and they all have their respective points on the print. However, they gave me different ones with the correct number, 232, 1307, etc. But they were not the max, they were not the MCP, etc. So that gave a bit of confusion. Fortunately, this one, the big chip, was the correct one. And fortunately they were all the correct sizes, because if that had been a problem, ouch. Anyway, spacers and who knows what else. Alright, so all spacers have been placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 4 for the Raspberry Pi, which is now set in the other direction. So here's the network cable, here is the power. Something that confuses me is where is the power for the PiXtend, because I was told that it needed its own 12 volts power. So I ordered also a power supply, but there's no option to connect that, so I will have to see. But right now I need to add jumpers, and one here is very important, they say. So let me just put it on to be on at all times, and the rest I will put according to the construction manual, after which is the time for the startup manual. So let me put all jumpers. Right, so now the jumpers have been set, and in the process I find out that here something has gone wrong with the jumper, which is completely missing. No problem yet, but I with the jumper parts being that remain, I have to put it on sometime. I have no clue why this is missing. It has been soldered, and even the one pin that is remaining misses something. Anyway, everything has been placed, except for these ones, which according to the manual have to be open for now. Very last part is connecting the two, and this is exactly according to the manual. So now they are interconnected, and then it is nice if they... Oh, and I see a problem here. Yeah, I do see a problem now, because the screws here on top, the buses here on top, which actually make it possible to put an add-on board on here, do not allow the connector to be pushed on completely, and that is not a good thing. So I should have here an M3 bolt in it. This is not a very good thing at all. Very strange. Question is, which one is closest? And when I look carefully, this one is closest, so this one has to be removed. The other ones keep it in place. But it is very strange. So one more time. No, even this one prohibits it from being connected. Very, very odd. They should have thought of it. And I don't know if this model 3B is different in spacing than the 1 and 2. It is smaller, yes, but is it smaller in that way? Because if I look at my model 1 and 2, they have screws and no buses, so I do not think that is the same. Alright, or more appropriately, not alright. But this is according to manual. So if I remove this one and these two stay in place, then it would be alright, I think, but not well, safely enough. Anyway, let's get that down and get started, really started. And now it gets a bit weird, because although these buses and these buses only fit in here, not in these or in any of these, the pictures in the construction manual show M3 bolts, just like the other ones. So what am I supposed to do? And this is not really nice. And I do not have M3 bolts. They were not delivered with it. So I'm not quite sure what to do. Anyway, I will mount this right now and hope for the best. Starting up and then mount. So make a connection, and the other end of the cable is not yet connected to the power. This is one, then this is two, otherwise I can't do the virtual network computing, VNC. It is set to get all the power for the whole system. So yeah, in the convinced situation that nothing is short-circuited, and I checked, triple checked and more often. Well, if it gets smoky, I did something wrong. So, yeah, let's do something. Alright, so time for power up. But in case of something new, always consult the manual, which is in this case the setup manual. And there they are talking about, let me put it a bit smaller print. So this part is the end of the former manual, where they say exactly the same. And preparing in the DSD card, and they say for the first test always use this one. So I have used Debian, more appropriately or more correctly Raspbian, and they say use this one. Okay, so I haven't done that. But the real thing comes here, because yes, you have to connect the PiXtend to power supply. And then they say, alright, doesn't matter which one. Well, as a matter of fact, I have a power supply which is ready to use. This one, with this connector where I can put whatever I have. 12 volts, very good. Except that they say, okay, now cut it. And make it like this. So I was wondering why, and then they say, oh well, put it in here, which is, let me make that clear, this one. So this is the entrance of the this is the power entry, and here is how they do it. And there's one thing that I won't do. You guess what? Cutting off this one. I won't do it. So I have to get two wires and make them ready for use. I am not going to ruin a good power supply only for use with this one, because I can use this power supply for other uses as well. So this takes some thinking, to say the least. How to do it? I have some wires, and this is minus and this is, oh wait, this side is plus, this side is minus. Well, I have to check on this. So in this episode I am not going to start it up. I have to really think on how to do it. So this one, SSH, VNC, no, not yet, not this time. And with that I wrap this video. So, jumper missing, 4 and 3 screws missing, and I really have to have them. Next, a power supply mystery. They has to be connected in here, but well, yeah, I'm not going to cut it. No way. So untested, but it's all there. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment or suggestion, very much appreciated. You can also follow me via Instagram and Twitter. Please donate to keep videos coming to you and to support my blog. Donating can via PayPal and Wired. More information see my website. You can also become a patron and have your name mentioned, and your name will be mentioned on my website, and depending on the pledge you make, also with my videos on one or more ways. This is going to be continued. Oh, by the way, URL of my website is under this video with lots of information. Yeah, to be continued. Have a nice day and bye bye.